Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Apex Racing TV for the PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship, live on this Saturday evening. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Sam Fitzpatrick and iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. We're at LimeRock Park, and Sam, it brings back memories of the rookie days, and also it's a pretty scary track for cars as powerful as these.
Yeah, no doubt. Particularly that crest midway round the lap. That's going to be really difficult in these cars. A lot of wheel spin up the hill, so it's going to be difficult to control the cars. And we've got 3 races today, all quite short, so that should be really intense today and really tight racing.
Alex, what do you remember of this track from your rookie days?
Not a great deal, to be honest. I don't do too many races around here, but yeah, it's a fun.
Since then, or
no, I really haven't. I'm trying to think what I did. I think I might have done something in the caddy once around here. That was probably the last time I drove it. I don't even know what that was for. I think it was probably just testing the car or something. But yeah, I really haven't drove it. But it's not that I dislike this place, because it's actually quite a nice circuit, although it's very, very short. I mean, it's good for them. It's good for the MX-5s, I think, because you can get the run coming out the final corner on them, enough to get alongside and get overtakes done. But I feel it's going to be really, really tough for these V8s, because they're barely going to finish accelerating by the time they get to the braking point. So the slipstream drift are going to have no effect whatsoever. So it's all going to come down to drivers making mistakes tonight. Maybe we'll see a bit of frustration because people will be tucked up behind people and can't get past. So I'm hoping for 3 good races, but who knows what we might see.
Yeah, these guys are doing over 150 miles an hour before they break for turn 1. I think it's going to be pretty tough for outbraking to be done. But I think with the nature of this car, Sam, mistakes are going to be made over the course of the 3 races tonight. And of course, the sprint races mean that just in their nature, they're going to be a bit more frantic than normal.
Yeah, definitely. They can't hang about behind drivers. They've got to make moves as soon as they're possible. And around here, it's so difficult to make a move. Not really any clear braking zones. It all kind of flows one corner into another. And like Alex said, it's very narrow and not very long straight. So it bound to be quite a few incidents. And often you can get pile-ups around here because the walls in places are very close to the track. So you can have cars bouncing back into the action. So it could be quite lively out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy car to drive. We see this every single week as some of the drivers are showing us right now in qualifying. Looking at the qualifying standings, actually, it's Tony Kloosterman that leads the way. He's currently only 7th in the championship, so he needs a good round here. He's got 2 wins this season, but only 7th, and that's disappointing for a man who was a former champion, but Canadian will be looking to get a good result in today. Chris Jackson is in 2nd place. That's Kloosterman's teammate. And then it's Alexander Galahov, Domin Gantar, who leads the championship by 75 points ahead of Sergei Glazkov, and then Jean-Philippe Bousselin and Johnny Brandon in 7th. 8th for Michael Evdoka. He's got a sign on the back, actually, Johnny Brandon, Alex, saying, I believe it says "Do not touch" on the back end of the car. So he's trying to warn against the close quarters action that we might get around this track.
Yeah, and I think I'm pretty sure we're going to see some of it as well today. So yeah. I think Johnny's had a little bit of bad luck. If I'm trying to remember what happened last race out, did he get collected in something a couple of times?
Yeah, I think in the 2nd race, I think he got collected on lap 1, but he won the 1st race, so he had a lot of pace.
Well, he is 2nd in the championship, is Johnny Brandon, 75 points behind. His teammate Michael Evdoka is just 10 points behind him. Those two are always very evenly matched wherever they go, 2nd and 3rd at the moment in the championship. Qualifying, they are in, it's 5th for Brandon, it's 9th for Evdoka, so a slightly bigger disparity there between the two. Looking down the list, we've got 29 cars who've set a time so far, and we may well have more joining the grid yet who haven't yet attempted to qualify, or if they have, they haven't been successful. But looking at the track temperature then, Sam, it was told to me earlier on that by some of the drivers that the tyres might be a factor towards the end of the race, and 33 degrees out there means that could well be a factor.
Yeah, and if the tyres do go around here, then you're in big trouble, particularly the rears, because you've got to really lean on the tyres a lot around here. And, well, we've got 3 different sessions. I think they got different weather for each session, so we could see maybe even higher temperatures than 33 track degrees that we've got now. So could be an issue at the end of the race, but yeah, I'm not too sure. It is only 24 laps, but like I said, if the rears go around here, then you're in big trouble.
Alex, is it possible that we might see some of the drivers setting the car up with a bias towards a certain side of the car, given the fact that it's the 7 corners here, but only one of them is a left-hander?
I mean, if you're going to do it at any track, probably this is the one. I'm not sure it'd be the bias, but you might see like the cambers and stuff like that varying from one side of the car to the other, just to try and aid it to turn, and like ARB preloads, if that's such a thing that you can do in this car. I know it is obviously in the F1, so
Yeah, you can.
you can sort of do that. That's effectively giving you a bit of cross weight in the car to help it turn through those corners. And actually, the left-handers will be a little bit tricky, but all the rights will be very, very nice indeed.
Left-hander, Alex. There's only one of them.
Duh. Well, yeah, duh. Sorry. But yeah, so I don't know if anyone's going to take it that seriously. It'd be interesting to know, if they have, if the drivers are watching it back, post on the comments.
Could of course
at the end
be
of the race. Let us know if you did do that.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Could of course be a risk to do that, wearing out one side of the car, obviously more than the other. Tony Klusman then, pole position. He did have the lead cut slightly by Chris Jackson, but only to half a tenth. Alexander Galahov in third. Domin Gantar starts fourth, with Johnny Brandon and Sergei Glaskov making up row 3. JP Busalan and Stefan Nobis in 7th and 8th. Michael Evdoka 9th. Stephen Lattimore in 10th. Jamie McKnight 11th. Vlad Zainchikovsky is 12th. 13th is Michael Taliancic. Nikolai Bogachev is in 14th. Peter Bingham 15th. Anthony Woodward 16th. Kim Halter 17th. Then it's 18th for Craig Barson. Stephen Phillips 19th. Richard Warmingham is in 20th, with Clyde Whiting in 21st. Matthew Belton 22nd. Ronald Moons in 23rd. And then Michael Frost 24th. Kevin Whitaker 25th. Igor Bembik in 26th. Bill Switzer 27th, Johan Venter 28th, Alistair Walker is 29th. We've got 3 drivers who haven't set a time. Don't know if they'll be taking the start or not, but Klaus Winter, Ronald van Utrecht, and Wayne Laker are at the back. So we'll see if they do take to the grid or not. But some drivers have. And Sam, looking at the grid and how it stands at the moment, who do you think is going to be the person to beat in this one?
Well, if Klusman can get off to a good start, we know what such a quality driver he is. He might just be able to hold his lead. And you think his main challenge is usually Johnny Brandon and Michael Evdoka far down the field. So they're going to really struggle to make an impression in this race. But, Chris Jackson, Alexander Galahov, Domin Gantar, of course, the championship leader, I'm sure they'll all be gunning for that race victory. But really important for Klusman to get a good start here and maintain the lead going into turn 1. Otherwise, he's going to struggle to retake that lead.
Alex, how surprising is it to see Michael Taliancic down there, reigning champion down there in 13th place?
Yeah, very. Such a good, consistent driver, and comes, he's strong towards the end of the stint. So it's not going to help him here. Good qualifying was needed. He needs to focus more on the qualifying setup. So yeah, I am surprised, but you know what it's like sometimes. You can just not get a lap in.
Incidentally, it is his first appearance of the season as well, so maybe that has something to do with it too.
Yeah, quite possibly. Just so used to seeing him fighting up the front,
But yeah, it's good to see him back, and I'm sure he will come to the fore. Let's go on. First race then. Based on qualifying, second race reverse grid wheel, third one is going to be a full. Here we go. Green flag flies and we're away. It's a good start. Great start with the 2 Never Quit Racings off the front row. Klusterman keeping the lead ahead of Jackson, who's in front of him in the championship here. We wanted to get that position back. There is a bit of contact. I can hear it. Johnny Brandon's up into third already. Alex, what's happened?
Yeah, further back, sort of Lattimore's involved. Bogachev, Belton as well. Possibly Frost. Yeah, Frost as well. So just all come together. Someone else off as well in turn 2. So our predictions of a clean first lap on race 1 only. Oh, well, we've seen it. Clyde said put a camera up the top there. First victim as well. It's
It's
Galahov.
Galahov. And Galahov qualified third. He just lost the rear end.
Coming over the crest,
Oh.
yep. Oh, it's,
The car in front had a massive twitch, didn't it? That was Brandon. And Galahov, more than just a twitch.
crazy.
He's into the pit lane straight away. But that's this car. It's susceptible to those kind of things, Sam. With the sheer power of the rear wheels.
Yeah, it was so difficult for him, and on that first lap as well, maybe the tyres a little bit cool, and it was a weird one because it wasn't as though he messed up the corner before. He just ever so slightly lost it over the hill, and he nearly collected a couple more cars as well. But that incident,
it was almost after he'd cleared the crest itself, wasn't it? It was almost as if he was pulling straight, and then that's when it bit him.
Yeah, usually when drivers spin there, they're a little bit the point they're turning slightly away from the crest, but he was straight there and he still managed to lose it. But that turn one incident was a little bit odd. I think there was a spin in the mid pack, and then everyone at the back just seemed to get involved. They were really unlucky out there.
Lap 3, Klusterman leads, Jackson second, Brandon is third, Glazkov is up to fourth, Busalan is fifth, sixth is Evdoka, Nobis is seventh, 8th is McKnight, 9th is Woodward, and Zainchkovsky is 10th. And Craig Barson made a good start. Alex up from 18th, already up to 11th on 2 laps of LimeRock Park. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, so quick look. He's got a few cars stacked up in front of him now, so can try and hunt them down as well. It's quite a good battle, actually, throughout the field. But, yeah, just look at this around sort of 6th place. It's just crazy. Going through the final corner. Bembic obviously had some issues that lap 2. Dropping down the order.
Yeah, well, a few drivers in trouble then. Clyde Whiting's had an issue as well. We saw him emerging from the pits in front of the leaders. He's just all he's had to do is kind of let most of them through again, which is making his race even worse than it already is. Like you said, Galahov having the spin. No real damage for Galahov. Oh no, he's been in pits, hasn't he? So yeah, of course there will have been.
Yeah, everyone gets a fast repair in each of these races, so get back to the pits and you can get a brand new car.
So no damage for now, maybe. We'll see how it goes with these sprint races. Already 4 laps completed. 1/6 of race distance. You can see it going on in the background though. Alex, Zainchkovsky is trying to make a move on Woodward, and then behind them it's side by side between Barson and that's the lapped car of Whiting. So it was getting quite congested there, but looks like everybody's sorting out. Woodward all sorts of out of shape through turn 2.
It was just as they were trying to get past Clyde, really. Everybody just got checked up a little bit coming out the final corner, and they were all sort of able to get a run on each other. But as it was, they all ended up in the same positions. Boosterman away, really. 1.9 seconds now.
Yeah, and this is the quality of the man, really. Tony Klusterman, who he's won the title previous seasons, and yeah, stretching out the lead over the man who, Chris Jackson, who's having his best season in quite some time. Jackson is lying 6th at the moment, and he's been very consistent. He started 7 races. I believe he's finished them all, and well, only 200 points, 250 points or so off the lead in the championship. Might sound like a lot, but this point system, it's not really that many. Having a good season in car number 11. Johnny Brandon, 2nd in the championship, got a 75-point deficit to Domen Gantar. Looking at Gantar, actually, he didn't take the start. He didn't take the start, Alex.
No.
Gantar.
No, and neither did Michael by the looks of it either.
Qualifying as well, and neither did they. They didn't get anything.
Very unusual.
Well, that's surprising, isn't it? And considering that Gantar's the leader of the championship at the moment.
His connection fell to an unacceptable level, apparently. I think that was just before the race started as well.
Oh, man.
Well, we're seeing lots of people experience
actually.
This, and that is purely down to the Sebring 12-hour race going on right now.
Is it testing the servers, do you think, then?
I think so. I think we're seeing it again. There's lots of people blinking and disconnecting over there as well. So,
Eptica going down the inside. It's side by side over the crest. I think he's made it. That's a brilliant move from Michael Eptica. He had just had the run in. He had half a chance going into that corner. He put his nose on the inside and he took it really well. So that's a big move there from Eptica, and he's up to P4 now. Going to try to chase down his teammate now, Johnny Brandon.
He's gutting. It must be gutting for Gantar, though. 4th on the grid he was, and all ready to take the start, and then a problem with the connection, and unfortunately didn't seem like he got back in time. Hopefully he'll be back for race 2 and he can salvage at least some of those points that he's hemorrhaging by not being here in this one. Kloosterman is flying away, though. Over 2 seconds now. 2.2 is the gap. Man from Canada, and his fellow countryman Chris Jackson. Looks like it's fairly easy pickings for him as well. But again, with LimeRock Park, Alex, you can never relax fully because everything's all action. It's very, very difficult to do a race around here and not think about it.
Yeah, there's no real let up, is there? Just constant, you know, the corners come. So I remember when they used to run the Proto GT series around here. That was that never let off. Could you imagine that? The GT1s and the LMP2s going around here.
Well, I've seen the IMSA series in real life. They do this race as well. It's mental. There's about 40 cars on this surface, and with prototypes and everything, and it's exactly how you'd imagine it to be. It's crazy. There's not a lot of let up at all. The drivers out there. Glasgow trying to hold off Nobis, who's made a good start. Nobis.
I have to say that the video where I saw, I think it was the guy with 5 screens on iRacing doing the LMP round here. That was really what, you know, after you said I'll give it a try, that was really what hooked me to iRacing. I was like, I've got to do this.
Oh, the inside, Nobis. Late on the brakes. Oh, he's rubbing the panels with him. For Nobis trying the inside line, but it does become the outside for turn 2. Like we said in the pre-race show, the only left-hander on the course. So if you go up the inside, Sam, if you do not make it stick, then that's when you have to contend with being on the outside for the next one.
Yeah, definitely. You just got to try to set up the move, and it's quite clear that Nubis has a lot more pace than Glasgow. And he's right on his toes, looking for any chance to get past, but it's just so difficult around here without the major braking zone. But he's really tight coming onto the final corner now. Just need to absolutely nail the exit, and he's going to have a chance going into turn 1.
He's driving nicely as Glasgow trying to defend. He might have to move to the middle of the course here into turn 1 to try and stave off the attack of Nobis, but having a look up the inside is the 027 car. That is Jamie McKnight, and he was sideways in the braking area as well. And like, it's exactly what Sam said, Alex. When you get an opportunity in here, you're going to have to take it because they're going to be so few and far between.
Exactly. You got to jump. You got to pounce. You know, there's no being gentlemanly about it this time. Not here.
You might not get a second chance. Yeah,
exactly. If you want to get by, you got to take them. Oh, little sideways moment for Nubis, but he's okay. He's okay.
Half a look from McKnight into the second to last corner. All that did, mate, was slow him up. Just cost him 1/4 of a second.
Yeah, it's what it's like, that corner, actually. It's quite one of the most, it's probably one of the toughest corners on the circuit. I remember, that's one thing I can remember from the rookies, is that was where you could really make up a lot of time. You know, one corner, if you got it wrong, you lost loads. You get it right, you gain loads.
Yeah, that's right. And field spreading out quite a lot, Sam, as you can see already after just 12 laps of this very short circuit. You're looking at the back markers being around the 30-second mark. So we're going to see them probably lapped by the end of this race, and well, that could be when it gets interesting for the leaders.
Yeah, I remember I did an IMSA race around here and in the DP, and one of the most important things about it was to dispatch the traffic quickly, and it's really difficult around here. But Tony Klusman's got a 3-second lead still. He's driving so well up there, really a class above the rest of the field, and he can afford to be a little bit more patient through the traffic.
But look now, and just in front there is some traffic. There's two of them. There's Alistair Walker and Kevin Whitaker. And they're not battling over position. Walker's in 24th and he lets Klosterman through. Whitaker is 27th, 3 laps down currently. And I think he's going to let Klosterman through as well. So nice gentlemanly driving by both men there who are laps down. And the thing is, it's going to be easy for Klosterman to get past just one car, but when everyone else tries to go through as well, could be even more difficult. And especially if they get to cars, Sam, where they're battling amongst themselves, such as, say, Johan Venter and Matt Belton, who, they might come across in 3 or 4 laps' time.
Yeah, and I was about to say that Stefan Nubis is going to be really under pressure when he comes up to the traffic, because he's going to have to straight away go for the move, otherwise he's going to be overtaken by 2 or 3 cars immediately. So he's got to be so aggressive, and like you said, if the back markers are fighting themselves, around this narrow circuit there's just going to be nowhere to go, and you just got to position your car to try to get the move in the next corner. It's going to be really difficult for these drivers. Yeah,
I think you are spot on there, and it's just a matter of concentrating and making sure that you hit all your braking points as well. It's all right looking at where the lap cards are, but you've got to still drive the track as you are. And Klosterman, as he completes lap 14, go on.
Peter Bingham, I think, has just had a bit of an incident. He's certainly got a bashed up car.
Oh yeah, big one. He's got steering damage too.
Yeah, I think that was a couple of laps ago, actually. I can't see an incident that he's been involved in, but he was just overtaken and very nearly lost it when being overtaken.
Oh, I think he... Yeah, he's having all sorts of issues there. He can barely steer the thing. So he's going to be lucky to make that to the end. I'm surprised, actually. But I was going to say I'm surprised he hasn't come in for his fast repair. But if he does, I suppose he's going to be dead last, so might as well stay out there and fight.
So Nubis almost got him into the Nubis nearly managed to get Glasgow, but he just backed out of it. I thought he was going to really go for it there, but he's ever so tight, and really tight coming out of the final corner. But he just struggles to make the move, and Glasgow going to go defensive this time. Going to have to go around the outside here as Nubis.
And you can't.
No,
he's very difficult. He's using the chrome horn there to try and get through, and it's not enough. And this is the example, Alex, of exactly what Sam was saying before, is that, the door cracks open a little bit. You've got to absolutely smash your way through, but he couldn't do it. And he couldn't do it legally anyway, and that's how he decided to stay behind.
Yeah, some great racing. I mean, this pack's just getting a little bit bigger as well, you can see. So who knows what can happen. If they start going at it and we get some too wide, it really could spice it up behind them. But the rest of them are disappearing.
Busalan's in there now. Zainchkovsky's in there as well.
Yeah, Woodward's come in as well. He's not that far back. But yeah, the rest are cleared off. So if Docker, Brandon, Jackson and Klosterman, there's pretty decent gap between them. So nothing really going to happen in the top 4. It's all about this. And here, Nubis under pressure from McKnight up the inside. That was as clean as you'd have it.
Yeah, good move there by McKnight. Nobis down to 7th place. And behind him is Busalan. See JP Busalan there. Car 666. Then behind him is Zainchkovsky, and he started 12th, made 3 positions up since the start. And yeah, a nice train of 5 here that we've got. And now Glasgow has a different challenge, Sam, and someone else now in his mirrors after quite a few laps with Nobis sort of banging at the door and seeing if he can get through. Now he's got the challenge of McKnight.
Yeah, and they're coming up to traffic as well, but to be fair, they're just going to let them all pass. That was Alistair Walker. He's just going to let them all pass. I think he's going to be okay this.
Oh, he's having a look. He's gone deep into the corner. It could be a chance for Nobis. Nobis trying to make something of that, but he can't do it. I can't think of a worse track, to be fair, to be a backmarker on than this one.
Yeah, they're doing a good job, to be fair, to just get out of the way. They appreciate that they're not fighting anyone, so they should let these battles continue. But Glasgow is going really strong. He's dropped 8 seconds to Ev Docker in about 10 laps. So that's how far off the pace they are because of all their fighting. And yeah, like you said earlier, a really big train now back to Lad Zajankowski in 9th place.
Yeah, for most of it, they were only lapping about 6/10 slower than the leaders were. But last few laps, it's been increasing and increasing. And previous time round, it was a 53.0 for Glasgow. It was a 52.6 for him this time. And he's wide. Oh, and that interested McKnight there for a second. And there's not enough room to throw it up the inside into the left-hander because it's very easy to hold that inside line. You want to get a good exit out of here so you can challenge into the hill section. But Alex, it's not an overtaking place down at the hill unless you're fully alongside, and chances are with that straight winding as it does, you're not going to get alongside it anytime soon.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to try and do it. I mean, we saw Michael do it earlier on and he was able to scamper away. So McKnight, if you can do the same.
It's going to be tricky though. Those were the opening laps and everyone's settled into a bit of a rhythm now, but mistakes can creep in. As Johnny Brandon was saying, the tyres can go. So we'll see who's made best use of their rubber throughout this entirety of the 24 laps. Only 5 more laps to go. And it's already been a very, very quick run here through LimeRock Park today. Klusterman ahead of Jackson, ahead of Brandon, just to let everybody know that after this race there will be 2 more. So if you're watching live on YouTube, welcome. It's good to have you with us here on Saturday evening, but stay with us because there's 2 more races. It's going to be fast and furious. We're going to get 2 reverse grid races. One's going to be with that spinning wheel. So please stay with us. It should be some good action. See these guys like some Klusterman and Jackson and Brandon and Doka trying to fight their way through the field from God knows where on the grid it could be. Be anywhere. And it's Klusterman, then Jackson, Brandon, Evdoka, and then Glasgow, McKnight, Nobis, Busalan, Zajankowski, and Woodward is the top 10. Then Barson, Holter, Phillips, Warmingham, Bingham, Latimore, Moons, Gallahov, Bogachev, Venter, Belton, and Switzer. And laps down, Walker, Whiting, Van Utrecht, Frost, and Whitaker. Benbig is the only man out so far. I'm surprised, given the fact that he's got a fast repair. Always makes me chuckle a little bit, Sam, when someone retires that early after having the fast toe. But I guess he could have crashed it twice in 4 laps. I don't know. We didn't see it on the screen.
Oh, we got side by side going to the final corner. McKnight's made it. McKnight's got past Glasgow.
Wow.
And Glasgow's going to lose another. Oh, he could lose 3 positions here.
3.
Oh, it's going to be 3 wide going down to turn 1.
Oh, here we go.
Take this one.
Boost very low on the brakes. Ah, lovely move there by Busalan. And Sam, that's just taking the opportunity when it presents itself. And now Glasgow went from 5th in the previous lap. He's now 9th. He must be furious in there.
Yeah, it wasn't even a big error. He literally just missed the apex by a few meters, and that gave Jamie McKnight the opportunity. And once he lost that momentum, it was all over. And he's going to be prey now for Anthony Woodward just behind. But yeah, Jamie McKnight, he's not pulled away from Stefan Nubis, so I think Nubis is going to have a chance perhaps any point now, and a little bit of a slide there from McKnight. He's going to go defensive. Nubis is going to have to go around the outside, but we've seen so far it's so difficult to do so. Nubis is going to try it anyway, but no, he's just going to have to tuck that in, but he's going to have perhaps a couple more chances between now and the checkered flag. Yeah,
tyres may be becoming a premium out there. Alex, what's it like when you see 4 cars just steaming through after such a minor mistake like he did there?
You'd just be gutted, you really would, especially so close to the end of the race. You've done the hard work really keeping them behind for 95%. It's just that last little bit, but it's always at the end.
You went off the track or anything, you know?
No,
Crazy.
It's always at the end though when you know the strain really kicks in.
And that's Whitaker.
Back marker, isn't it? Everyone having to go by.
Right behind the leaders. Right behind Jackson, I think it was. I thought he was coming for him for a second. Final lap. Amazing how it flies by here. So Klusterman has got the hill and the final 2 corners to negotiate. He's going to be taking on maximum points. It's been a great drive. He started on pole position. He's led every single lap. Got over a 3-second lead. He's navigated the traffic beautifully. And Tony Klusterman of Canada rounds the final corner to win for Never Quit Racing. Here at LimeRock Park, takes race 1 victory. Chris Jackson, his teammate, second. Johnny Brandon, second in the championship, but with Gantar disconnecting just before the race there. Alex, it's a big boost for his championship, is that, for Brandon?
Yeah, huge. Good solid podium position. Just what he needed.
Massive points there. And for Evdoka Sam as well, 4th, and then McKnight, and then that battle that we watched for the most of the race.
Yeah, definitely, and even Klusterman, that's really helped his title chances. It's going back within a chance. I think, not sure how many points it is for a win. It's something like 150 points, isn't it, for a win? So that's going to bring Tony right back into the championship running now, which is great to see. We just hope that that Gantar sorted out his internet problems and can return for the next couple of races.
Yeah, 150 points going to the winner of all of these sprint races, and yeah, that could be a lot of points on the board if Gantar can't sort the issues out. Let's take you to the finishing order then from race 1 here, round 8 of the championship. Tony Klusterman with the win, 2.6 seconds ahead of Chris Jackson. Johnny Brandon in 3rd with Michael Evdoka 4th and Jamie McKnight in 5th. Stefan Norbis was 6th. Jean-Philippe Boussalan 7th, Vlad Zajankovsky 8th, 9th for Sergei Glaskov after he was running 5th for nearly the whole meeting, the whole race there. Anthony Woodward 10th, 11th for Craig Barson, 12th for Kim Holter, Stephen Phillips in 13th, 14th was Stephen Lattimore, Alexander Galahov, we saw him spin at the hill and crash, he's 15th overall, and then 16th Richard Warmingham, 17th Peter Bingham, 18th for Nikolai Bogacharev, Matthew Belton in 19th, and then Bill Switzer in 20th, Johan Venter 21st, Alistair Walker 22nd, Michael Frost 23rd, 24th, Ron Van Utrecht, Ron Moons 25th, and then Clyde Whiting, Kevin Whitaker, they looked like they were out, and then Igor Bembik out as well. Gantar and Taliancic didn't take the start, neither did Winter and Laker. So Alex, it's reverse grid time then. Your favourite part of the show, mate. First one of the evening.
Just letting the final standings just tick on out of screen, and then we'll bring up that wheel. But yeah. If they ever will. Just seems like they want to be there forever.
There you go.
There we go. Right. Give it a spin.
They want the 15 minutes of fame.
That's it. It's just the 2 drivers as well at the end there it was. Right. Where are we going to end up? Oh, it's Diddy. It's very, very small. 7th.
7th?
7th, yeah.
7th. Okay, that's Jean-Philippe Boussalan going on to pole position. So it'll be Boussalan, Nobis, Knight, Evdoka, Brandon, Jackson, and Klusterman at the front of the grid. Zajankovsky's going to be 8th, Glaskov 9th, and Anthony Woodward 10th. We'll be back very shortly here on Apex Racing TV for more from the PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship. Join us back here for more after the break. Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Welcome back to the European PenPower V8 Supercar Championship from LimeRock Park Circuit in Connecticut in the United States. Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson, Sam Fitzpatrick with you at the very short, technical, fast circuit that is LimeRock Park. And Sam, just very quickly, mate, Igor Bembik's on pole. It's going to take a Herculean effort for him to take the checkered flag, but we've seen things happen in the past round here.
Yeah, from that last race, brilliant drive from JP Boosterland to hold on to the lead from pole position. So he's going to have a chance, Bembik, but this should be really entertaining. See if the front runners can get their way through the field.
All right, here we go then. We're going to find out now. So green light is on. I'll start by Barson. Really got away well on the outside. He's going to turn in, and he nearly hits Bembik. Oh, it's very tightly contested. Bembik drifts across, he hits Barson. He did not give him the space there. But he maintains the lead, Bembik, ahead of Barson, and then it's Galahov. And we said about Galahov, Sam.
Yeah,
Galahov going to be fast.
Yeah, Galahov away, okay. I think it's side by side, and
crash,
up into the... Yeah, Moon's done well to hold on to that one, hasn't he?
Done. I thought for certain he was crashing Ronald Moons, given how he is now. Oh, what's he doing? Get off the circuit. Oh, dear me, what is he doing? Well, he did a great job there, Alex, there's another car in the wall as well. It's Latimore. And Alex, he did so well to contain that first incident and then seemed to switch his brain off a little bit. And Galahov's into the lead.
I'm just having a look to see exactly what happened to Latimore. Did he just have to check up in?
I think it might have been one of the ones that Moons hit. If you follow it on, if you see Ronald's original...
It was Wood. No, who was that? I'm not really sure actually. No.
Was it one of the ones? No, maybe not one of the ones that he
hit. There was some. Frost got involved in something on the last corner as well, so I wondered why he was down there. Yeah, so right, back to live. I think we need to.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, Galahov's leading. Then it's Barson. Third is Gantar up into. No, it's not Gantar. Sain Tchaikovsky up to third, and then it's Gantar, then it's Bembik, then it's Glazkov, and then Phillips, and then Kloosterman, and then McKnight. And then 10th is Chris Jackson. And the two Never Quit Racing cars, Sam, they're trying to come through. Oh, contact between Glazkov and Phillips. Glazkov getting a bit bullied tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, I think it was like Glazkov losing the position there.
Oh, he might lose another to Kloosterman. Oh.
Yeah, Kloosterman's going to be so eager to make these positions up. Starts in a decent position because he had a slightly disappointing race too. But yeah, he will have his sights perhaps on the race win. But Galahov into the lead, already got a second lead. He is going to have to push really hard to make a big lead so that he can run away with this one, because he's going to have a chance to do so with Barson and Zajankovsky clearly quite a bit slower.
Race 2 winner JP Boosterland started 19th. He's down to 25th position, so it's not going that well for him. Top 4 have broken away. Then it's Bembik still in 5th, ahead of Phillips. Phillips has got damage, he's missing a corner. Corner of the bodywork. There goes Kloosterman, he's through as well.
Issues for issues for Michael Evdoka as well, I believe, out there.
Oh.
He had a bit of an incident, I think, in the first corner, so he's dropped right down to P23 now, so that's important for the championship.
Could potentially have been a slowdown as well. Remember that you get a slowdown on lap 1, it really does affect you. Kloosterman going through on Phillips into 5th place for him then, for the Canadian. And nothing that Phillips, the Texan, can do anything about.
Brandon making his way up as well. He's just got past, I think that was Chris Jackson or Bembik. So Bembik down to 11th position now, starting on pole. So yeah, really troubled start for him. But Johnny Brandon missing the majority of the front of his car. but still driving very well up there, up into P9, and he just needs to pick up as many points as possible because he's the championship leader.
5 laps complete then for Alexander Galahov, and leading by 2.7 seconds over Craig Barson, and looking to come through his Gantar. So Gantar, who is the teammate of Galahov, of course, was the championship leader. Gantar is making good progress, starting 7th on the grid, and Alex is really looking for that 2nd place now.
Yeah, he needs to, doesn't he, after the first race? Really not his fault. Get a couple of good point hauls here for the last 2 races will be, yeah, that'll be a bit of a disaster averted, so good fight back the last one. And yeah, what's he got? 3.3 seconds if he can get past Barsons to his teammate. Might still have an opportunity of a win. Having a little look, but too far back.
Just having a look. There is a move going on here. Nobis. Oh, Nobis going through on Benbick. Forceful one from Nobis. And then Glasgow's just behind him. Glasgow's having a bit of a shocker in this race. Qualified pretty well. I don't know if it. I mean, I'm not one of these people, Alex, who starts kind of saying, "Oh, well, what a driver's mental state is," but you've got to feel that sort of sucker punch of losing 5 places in 1 lap has kind of might have got to Glasgow, because it seems like he's the same.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Benbick! Benbick's crashed, and he's crashed into Glasgow. Would you believe it? Alex, just as we were talking about Glasgow, he's been crashed into.
Well, when things are just not going your way, they're not going your way, are they?
Oh dear. Benbick into the pits then, surely. Nope, he's ignored the pit lane. I would have gone in there, to be honest. But he might be driving straight. He might be driving straight, Sam, but there's not a lot left of it.
No, that instance just seemed to lose his rear end and, yeah, smashed into Glasgow. I think Glasgow's still going out there, but I think he might have quite severe steering damage. He's lost 1 position since that incident, but perhaps can continue round. But yeah, just not his day today, Glasgow. Yeah, just been really unlucky for him. It's frustrating because in that first race, when he lost those 5 positions, if he hadn't, he would have lined up P3 for the 2nd race.
Yeah, and been out of all the melee that he was in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he would have had a great chance, but yeah, that one kind of incident that has really let him down. This race hasn't gone his way either.
Up into 10th goes Stefan Nobis, Alex, and he's just taken Warmingham. So Richard down to 11th. Nobis up from 23rd on the grid, actually, having a great race there.
Just in a replay of that overtake. Richard didn't really defend it, did he? He had opportunity to, but just didn't shut the door.
Yeah, it was a nice move. Clean move. 4 seconds then. Well, nearly 5 seconds for Galahov. Just cruising away at the beginning, at the front of the race for Slow Ruse. And his teammate Gantar, I wonder if he can get past Barson. But as you said, Sam, Barson, he showed good pace when he was unimpeded. And looking fairly good in this one as well. And
yeah,
Tchaikovsky's had a solid meeting as well.
Yeah, he's holding his own quite well, Barson, so I'm surprised that he's not quite he's so far off Galahov, to be honest. But yeah, Tchaikovsky seems to have really good pace. I think he was overtaken by Gantar earlier on, so those two, I think, very similar pace. And Gantar, I'm surprised he hasn't made the move yet on Barson's, because Klosterman is really closing in about half a second lap faster than these lot, and he'll be right onto the tail of this pack very, very soon.
Yeah, I know Gantar, Alex, is more Prost than Senna in terms of the approach. He tends to drive a lot with his brain and doesn't try to force things out there on the track, but you get the sense he's going to need to try and make a move on Barson by hook or by crook, because Klosterman's got every chance of coming through this pack, having qualified on pole, being arguably the fastest driver out there. of the night to get through everybody, including Gantar.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Gantar, obviously, right now the win is gone. Pretty much halfway through this race, and he's not going to catch his teammate up now. So yeah, just get through, try and consolidate that second spot. Got a good run. Barson defending the inside very early over there as well. Gantar's going to have to go around the outside. It's very difficult to do.
Going.
If you can just keep a tiny overlap, you have got the advantage for the next corner, but it is so difficult to do.
We haven't looked at track temperature at all. It's down to a more reasonable 27 degrees, so that's the lowest Sam it's been all through the night, and it looks to be helping certain drivers out there. The grip levels look slightly higher. Car's not quite as twitchy as it was.
Yeah, we've had a few less incidents, I'd say, in this race. The tyre shouldn't be that much of an issue but come the end of the race, so that's a positive for the majority of drivers out there.
Even though it's still very bumpy out there, the car's still very hard to control. I think there's less incidents off the final corner of, big saves and wiggles and things like that, and the drivers just in general having a bit more control.
Yeah, they seem to kind of be driving more within themselves. They don't have to push it on the limit quite as much. They have a bit more control out there.
He thought about that, Gantar.
Yeah. Barson's was, I think, one step ahead of Gantar there. Covered that inside line while he's just making sure he holds onto that P2. He doesn't care about Galahov up ahead. He just wants to make sure that he hangs onto that one.
I think even if he did care about Galahov, I don't think he would be able to do anything anyway. It's kind of like, I was never interested in the win anyway. But 7 seconds for Galahov is really fantastic at this point. And we thought Klosterman ran away with race 1. Galahov showing us well and truly how it's done in this one. And you've got to think, Alex, that he would have been up there as well throughout the night. A bit like what Sam was saying with Sergei Glazkov. You would feel that Galahov would be up there if not for the spin on lap 1 of race 1. Or lap 2, I think it was, when he went over the hill and didn't come out unscathed at all.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think this track, obviously, like we said earlier on, a lot of people know it kind of well, and but it seems to be biting people here. And but yeah, good recovery drives still.
No, I just want to ask you another question actually in terms of Klosterman now, as he's back on. He's on the tail of this group for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. His best time is to overtake these guys now, isn't it? Surprise them. Don't get caught in their rhythm. Make your own rhythm.
Exactly, yeah. The minute he gets on them, so almost straight away put them under extreme pressure. Just try and get that move done.
He's very little on the brakes into turn 1. Do we still think that's going to be his best chance, or do you think it's just going to be better momentum out of a corner, maybe out of a fast corner at the end of the lap?
I still think into turn 1's going to be the best opportunity, and he's almost tucked in now. So that he needed to hit them running, really, I think, the last lap.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you're jumping over a wall, you need that momentum, don't you? Otherwise, you're never going to make it. You might be able to get over there eventually, but it's going to take you a hell of a lot longer.
That's it.
And he's had his run up, Sam, and he needs to make sure it doesn't stall completely as he's trying to scale the target.
Yeah, definitely, but he's not particularly close coming out of the final corner. Once again, Barson's having to go defensive into turn 1, but he's got everything covered. These drivers really, I think they know this circuit so well. Yeah, I thought Gantar may poke his nose in there, but just Barson just defending it at every single corner now. These drivers really know this circuit well.
Having putting his nose on the inside of Tańkowski there. Just a little bit. But the thing is, mate, is that you can see how fast Gantar is in the first sector, but it doesn't matter how fast you are in the first sector at LimeRock Park because it doesn't mean anything because you can't get through.
No, and he's not really playing. He hasn't really properly mounted an attack on Barson's yet. He needs to be a bit more brave, I think, going into turn 1. Risk it round the outside because we've seen it can be possible from McKnight earlier on.
Well, this time Barson
got the inside, hasn't he?
Barson is not defending. Well, he is defending quite late though, and it very nearly screwed him up because he locked up a little bit. It looked like. This time though, Gantar can take his normal line. Really, he's not having to be affected by the car in front too much. Craig Barson doing a fantastic job in P2, qualified there, well, via the full. But we knew he had good pace, and being able to stick with these guys at the front is no mean feat at all.
Stephen Phillips has had a bit of an issue. He's dropped from 5th to 9th in the past couple of laps. So
he wasn't 5th anyway, mate, because this is the battle for 5th. So I don't know what he's. I don't know. He's
dropped
down a little.
Coming through. Tony's
through. Yeah, he is. Sorry, Alex, how did he get that done?
Yeah, just into the final corner, got a great run out of the penultimate one, and yeah, up the inside of Vlad. Didn't really fight it too much once Tony had the high ground on the inside. So Gantar going to come under some pressure now. He's going to have to look as well as forward for an opportunity. He's going to keep an eye on his mirrors as well.
And Sam, you mentioned Phillips. It's a similar group that he finds himself in now, doesn't he? Because this one will probably close up a bit as well. It's McKnight, it's Jackson, it's Brandon, it's Phillips, it's Novice. And that's 5 drivers fighting in just 3 seconds of space.
Yeah, Phillips was holding up McKnight, Jackson and Brandon a little bit, but clearly something happened to him, and he's dropped 3 positions there. So McKnight 5 seconds behind this pack. I think he might have a chance of catching by the end of the race. He was, he's about half a second a lap faster than this lot, so he might stand a chance at catching by the end of the race.
Going to need to battle pretty hard.
Oh, side by side.
Tony.
Jackson and Brandon. Brandon's trying around the outside of turn 1. He's trying to keep the inside for turn 2. They hit each other. Jackson gets nerfed off the racing line. But I think he tried to squeeze Brandon. I think Brandon was there. I'll have a look at it again. Oh, yeah, he was well alongside. Oh, it was a bit of net code there. But I think in his heart of hearts, Alex, I think Jackson will think that he should have maybe left a tiny bit more room.
Yeah.
As the car slow on the racing line. Van Altrate was trying to crawl it round. Get it off the tarmac, man. If you're going to be in the middle of the fastest corner on the course, doing 50 miles an hour.
These guys have had an awful run off the corner. Yeah, so Phillips now darts back through. Oh, Brandon manages to hold on to it. Jackson loses a place to Phillips.
It was a terrible run. Did you see that, though? I mean, how that escalated. Van Altrate was just... I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. Oh, he's having a look now. Again, is Jackson on Phillips. Phillips trying to fight back.
Oh, it's very close as well for second place.
He was at the front of that battle. He wants to get back there, but you're right, Alex. It's all go for second place. Marston, Gantar, Klusterman. Klusterman is putting Gantar under so much pressure now.
Yeah, he's all over the back, and Gantar trying to go around the outside, not quite. Oh no, he's got him down the inside.
Through, is he?
Yeah,
he's alongside.
No, he's going to hang around the outside. I think Barson's may have the inside. Kliesman just watching this back, but I think Barson's got this one. No, round the outside. And Kliesman's going to get through as well.
Kliesman's trying to force his way through. They can make contact again. And somehow they don't crash, Alex.
Great driving from both of them. Good, hard, aggressive driving. But yeah, keep it pointing forward. Oh, both, all three have a little wiggle as they go over the crest there as well. But
I think you'll agree with me. We've watched enough racing, close quarters racing over the years on Apex Racing TV to know that was an amazing bit of driving. It wasn't so much the side-by-side stuff beforehand. It was when they hit each other, they hit the brakes, they controlled it.
That's it.
And they made sure they didn't take the other man out. Excellent drive.
Back marker slow as well. Off the track in turn 1, stays out the way.
That is Venter, Johan Venter. And Galahov has a 12-second lead now.
He's not had an awful lot of airtime. Let's bring him up just for
a guy
for a bit.
Do you want to do an onboard lap, Alex, for the penultimate lap of the race with him?
Yeah.
Oh, if he doesn't crash! Oh!
Catches the grass as well. So right. Must have sensed it. There's a back marker police out the way. Here we go. It's all going on for Gallo right this second, but down the main straight, heading in towards turn 1. Use the markers on the left to spot your braking point. Just hug the sort of inside round here. Don't let the car sort of drift off past the new sort of tarmac that you see there. The only left-hand corner we get. It's kind of like a double apex corner here, but you want to stick as far over to the left to open up this right-hander here. Allows you to get a good line off. Tend to want to avoid the curb, but Galoff just nicking it there. That will just give him a slightly slower run in towards the uphill right-hander. The car just wants to push wide there, and it's so close to the wall. We see it here. The car gets very light as we go over the crest into the penultimate corner. Then again, just catch the curb on the inside. Another little wiggle in the same spaces. He just runs a little bit wide from the corner. Use the camber on the inside of the final corner to help pull the car around. And that's the lap. It's done in, what, 51 seconds.
We're on to the final lap now. White flag is in the air. Alex, it never ceases to amaze me just how these V8 Supercar drivers have to work in this car to drive at the speed they're driving, and the Russian driver in the lead, Galahov. Oh, I mean, he's got a 12-second lead, and he's not taking it easy out there.
No,
Oh,
not at all.
Klisterman. So Klisterman on the inside of Gantar.
Oh.
He's on the outside going to turn 2. No, he's not going to quite make Gantar holds on, but Klisterman nearly forced the issue there.
Oh, no!
Oh,
wow.
Klisterman hits him.
Oh, he's going down back past, I think.
He's going to keep it, and they've managed to keep Zajatkowski at bay, have they?
Oh,
Oh,
maybe.
that's excellent from Klisterman. He gave the place back to Gantar. But it's going to be Galahov then, as he snakes his way towards the line. Alexander Galahov takes race 3. And what's going to happen? It's going to be Gantar, I think. It's going to be a 1-2 for Slowroos. And Gantar somehow's going to get this thing across the line in second place. Klisterman in third. You know, it showed really what a classy driver Tony Klisterman is, Alex, because made a couple of contacts there. And
No hesitation either. Just boom,
avoided
straight there. And then actually had the
the
mindset.
first one, and then that one, yeah, it was amazing keeping behind.
Yeah, great mindset just to see what was going on and made sure he just blocked the track, really, didn't he? Left no place for for Vlad to go.
Because they always say that that's the tough thing, isn't it? Is letting the guy back. That's the only thing with the rule. That rule, isn't it? Is that,
Yeah.
or that mindset is, you know, you let the first person through, and then you have to slot back in, and he did that fantastically well. Sam, that was a great race. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, definitely that contrast of pace, I'd say, around this circuit is really interesting because you can't defend here. But Gantar and Klisterman just managed to force the issue against Barson. I don't think he actually made an error out there, Barson. He was just really unlucky and lost 3 positions in one. But still, really good drive from Craig to come home in 5th place.
Yeah, excellent stuff right then. We're just waiting to see whether we have any drivers for the interviews coming in, but we'll see if we can get that. Should we have a short break, Alex, while we...
Yeah, let's throw to a break and then we'll get a couple of interviews and then we'll call it a night.
Welcome back to the PenPower V8 Supercar Championship, and Andrew Woodhouse with you, with Sam Fitzpatrick and Alex Simpson in the post-race show. We've got some drivers in for the interviews, and first one, I think we've got to find Jean-Philippe Bousselin, because he took the win in race 2. JP, can you hear me first of all?
Hey guys, yeah, I can hear you.
Well, thanks for joining us again, mate. And that race looked like it was very, very tense, and one that you had to fight very hard to keep your advantage in.
Oh yeah, it was tense. Well, first time I heard that it was the top 7 that was reversed. First I had 2 heart attack, and then I was starting to plan some kind of strategy. So basically I knew that I had to I was bound to do no mistakes. And more importantly, I had to ace the last corner every fucking time, and I swore.
It's alright, it's our channel.
You get away with that one.
It's our channel, it's
I
fine.
hope you get away with it. Anyways, yeah, basically that's what I did. I did very good in the last corner every time, although everyone was half a second faster than I was. So yeah, kept my nose clean and worked out in the end. So kind of proud.
Well, we sure as hell can't print that quote, but still, we're glad you got the win. And the thing is that obviously the to overtake on, so you're just focusing on your own lines there, basically just making sure that you don't make a mistake.
That's right, absolutely, yeah. And especially since the track was kind of hot, 42 degrees. My setup was okay in these conditions. I was very confident, so it was fine. I've had a lot of pressure from behind. Jamie McKnight was all over my rear bumper. After him, Johnny Brandon. But, well, I didn't break, and yeah, paid off in the end.
Oh, glad to see you at the top step of the podium. Before you leave us, is there anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, obviously my teammate, Steven. The whole Phantom 71 team, and everyone who joined up today. Thank you all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sticking with us. Very good league, and we will have a lot of fun, I think. And
we have fun broadcasting it too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, well, thank you guys for broadcasting as well. And yeah, well, that's it. Oh, and hello, Mom.
There you go. You've got to do that. Mother's Day tomorrow as well in the UK. So yeah, well, thanks for joining us, JP, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care. See ya.
Cheers then. And Alex has found Tony Klusterman there.
Tony, congrats on the first race and the pole position. Just able to edge away from your teammate in that first race. It looked fairly comfortable. Of course, you did catch a bit of traffic in that first race, so I guess it's not easy dealing with traffic here either.
No, and you could see that in the second and third race. Very, very difficult to pass, and it was obviously very entertaining, I think.
Yeah, it was thoroughly. A question that actually Andrew asked me at the start of the broadcast is, would drivers be running any kind of asymmetrical setups around here? Is that something that you thought of doing, with, predominantly right-hand turns?
Yeah, that's exactly what we ended up doing this morning. In fact, we went far away from the norm on these cars, with not having a lot of camber to having almost half a degree difference from right to left.
Oh, nice. And there you go, Andrew.
Yeah. Hey, it was worth a guess on that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Second race, you got a little bit loose over the top of that hill. Clyde mentioned that it was going to be a tricky point today. Just imagine all this power and the car just gets a bit light, does it, going over there?
Yeah, and in the second race, with it being so hot, traction was a premium, and if you just miss by a little bit, it can be very, very detrimental.
So, 3 reasonable results tonight. I would say that sort of puts the season back on course for you a little bit. You're still trying to hope to catch up to Johnny Brandon now, I believe, who's taken over the lead in the championship.
As long as there's a mathematical chance, I'll be trying.
Good lad. Well, anything or anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before I let you go?
Yep. Sustainability, never quit racing. Chris Jackson worked really hard this week on setups. In fact, in almost every practice session, he was faster than me this week. So nice to see Chris come along, and thanks to the organizing committee and the broadcast team. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
All right, Tony Klusterman then. And, well, Sam, who's your victim? I don't know. You can decide it.
Chris, are you there? Chris Jackson?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Well done out there. Really good battle with Johnny Brandon in that third race. How's it from your point of view?
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Australian connection and Canadian connection. There's obviously netcode. We both went back and looked at it, and when we had some contact, there was space between us. But all in all, we both got to finish. It was a lot of fun. He ended up getting the better of me, and that allowed Stephen Phillips through, who had a heck of a drive too. I couldn't find a way by him, so shout out to him.
And were you expecting the racing to be so intense around there? Because it seemed constant that there were just trains of cars all fighting.
If you get clear air and you don't make a mistake, it was pretty good, as in race one. But once you're in the pack, like Tony said, and I'm sure everyone else, the minute you get disrupted a bit in terms of your rhythm, make one mistake, that doesn't take long for that train to come along, and then rather than attacking, you're defending. So it was a lot of work and a lot of fun too.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Simability, Tony Klusterman. We worked, as he said, really hard on setups and pushing each other this week. And to my wife for allowing me to jump on again. So cheers.
Well done, Chris, out there. Hope to see you in 2 weeks' time.
Sounds good. Thank you, Sky.
That last comment, very wise indeed. Very clever man there, right? For the thank you of the wife. I would do that too if I had one. Anyway, gentlemen, we've come to the end of the proceedings. I do want to have a quick word with Clyde, just for the fact that he's bothered to come in again with one of the league admins, of course. Clyde, I just wanted your thoughts on the season so far, really.
Yeah, good one. We've had a lot of fast drivers join this season. Obviously, the Aussies are now getting into our series. We got the Bodak boys that have come across and are doing really well. I think at the front of the field, where I'm not likely to be in the very near future, it's made it all the more exciting. I think for the rest of us, it's given us a bit of a kick, and we need to get better to be able to catch up with these guys now. There's getting a bit of a split from the top 10 downwards.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we saw a bit of that today, but I do think it was a tough track, and it's one of those where I think you've got to get the setup. If you haven't quite nailed the setup, I think it is going to hurt you, because only half a second a lap off, and you lose so much time around here compared to everybody else. But I have to say, I think, like you said, the strength in depth is definitely very strong this season. It's definitely a large strength in depth. Do you feel? I feel that the reverse grid has made a massive difference to the series since it came in a couple of seasons ago.
I love it, mate. I think it just throws everything up in the air, and it all lands in a big mess, and you deal with it. I know some of the faster guys don't like it, but it gives the rest of us a chance. JP is a fast guy in his own right. He's probably not quite up there with the best of them in the series, but the reverse grid puts him on pole, a tight track, hard to pass. JP gets his first win of the series. To me, that proves it works.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait till the fast guys see my new reverse grid wheel. They're going to love that one.
That's top secret.
Well, we'll wait for that one to come in. That'll be probably at the next race meeting. And talking of the next race meeting, thank you very much, Clyde, by the way, for giving us your insight as well as normal. But the next race meeting is a very interesting one indeed, because in 2 weeks' time, we go to Long Beach. We go to the street circuit there. And, well, Alex, I mean, you might be the wrong person to ask. I don't know if you've ever driven there before, but what do you make of the meeting in general, and what do you make of the challenge in front of the drivers?
Well, one, I've got to buy it. So, but yeah, so I mean, I have drove it, but obviously not on iRacing.
Okay.
So like the circuit. Should be good. It'll be interesting to see how it comes across as a broadcast. Obviously, with it being a tech track and whatnot.
Yeah, there's not a lot of it.
No,
Is
no,
the-
there's not. So, and frankly, I don't know why they left the point cloud in there for the tech track. They should just take it out and just do it as the bare track and just be done with it. You know, they're obviously not going to finish it. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. It's a good circuit, and I think there'll be some good overtaking going on there. So yeah, I look forward to it.
I think that's the main thing, isn't it, Sam? That when we're going to go to a place like this. It's probably the first time that I've been there on iRacing. I think it is a good track. It's going to be difficult for the drivers. It's going to be hopefully a fairly level playing field in terms of track knowledge and things like that. But it's going to have that unknown element to it, which we like.
Yeah, definitely, and just the fact that it's a street circuit, of course. So, scraping the barriers every lap. Yeah, well, we might have a couple of street circuit specialists which rise to the top of the field. So, it should be a really good round. Personally, I've never driven it round on iRacing, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fascinating to see who can get up to pace with what will most likely be a new circuit for everyone.
Well, I think I'm going to have to buy the track as well and give it a few laps and see exactly what the drivers are going to contend with. That is on the 24th of March, 2 Saturdays from now. Looking through the rest of the rest of the season, we go then to Bathurst in Australia, we go to Suzuka, Japan, go to Circuit of the Americas in the United States, and then we go to Oran Park as the final round. And Oran Park, I think, is going to be very similar to this meeting, really. Alex, it's going to be an interesting finish to the season just for the fact that it's going to be a tough overtaking track again.
Yeah, very much so. We've obviously done a lot of the ARL V8 Supercar series races there, so I've seen that many a times, and yeah, I think it will be very tight and twisty circuit with not a lot of overtaking, mainly waiting for mistakes, but they do seem to happen a bit more frequent Oran Park, especially that sort of tricky first sort of sector as well. We see a lot of people just miss the braking and catch a wheel on the outside there and into the gravel, so I think I do think we'll see a little bit more overtaking there.
It's going to be tough on tyres. It's going to be tough on mines, but we've got a few races to go before the final one of the season. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us here today on Apex Racing TV. We've had a great time watching the action from LimeRock Park, from myself, from Alex Simpson, and from Sam Fitzpatrick. It's good night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.